The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who merely dream of it lies in one simple truth. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even intelligence that separates the successful from the forgotten. It is consistency, the relentless, unwavering commitment to show up day after day, without exception. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the most successful people of his time. He interviewed over 500 millionaires, and the pattern he discovered was undeniable. Every single one of them had mastered the art of consistent action. Not sporadic bursts of effort, not occasional moments of brilliance, but steady, persistent work that compounds over time. The young man took his seat slowly. He had come seeking secrets, shortcuts to the fortune his family expected. But the old industrialist had no interest in shortcuts. He had built his empire brick by brick. Your father sent you here because you lack discipline. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. You start many things. You finish none. The young man felt his face flush. It was true. Every venture abandoned. Every promise forgotten within weeks. You believe that success comes from finding the right opportunity, the old man continued. But you are wrong. Success comes from being ready when opportunity arrives. And readiness is built through consistent preparation. The water that carves the canyon is not powerful. The elder turned to face him. It is simply persistent. Most people quit at the first sign of difficulty. They mistake temporary setbacks for permanent failure. But the consistent few understand something crucial. Every obstacle is simply a test of commitment. I was rejected 47 times before my first factory opened. The old man held up the stack of letters. Each rejection taught me something. Each failure refined my approach. But I never stopped showing up. The young heir leaned forward now, something shifting in his eyes. Interest replacing defensiveness at last. Napoleon Hill called it the secret of the ages. The principle that separates the wealthy from the wanting. It is simply this: whatever you do, do it every single day. Without negotiation, without excuses. Your mind will rebel against this. It will offer you 1,000 reasons to skip just one day. You will feel tired. You will feel uninspired. You will convince yourself that tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes never. And never becomes your permanent address. The elder walked to his bookshelf and pulled down a thick journal. He set it before the young man heavily. 15,000 days. That is how long I have written in this journal. Every single morning without fail. Rain or shine, healthy or sick, wealthy or desperate. The pen has touched paper every dawn. The young man touched the journal with something like reverence. He had never held proof of such dedication. This is where my empire began. Not in boardrooms or banks, but in these pages, in daily discipline. Consistency creates compound effects. Like interest in a bank, small actions accumulate into enormous results. One day of effort produces nothing visible, but 1,000 days of effort builds what cannot be destroyed. The elder poured 2 glasses of brandy from a crystal decanter. He handed one to the young man. Your father was consistent in one thing, believing you would amount to nothing. The words hung heavy. You can prove him wrong, but not with promises, not with good intentions, only with daily action. The habit itself matters more than any single performance. Excellence comes from repetition, not inspiration. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Begin and passion appears. I watched men with half your advantages surpass men with twice your talent. The difference was always discipline. Talent is common. Genius is common. The world is full of brilliant failures drinking away their potential. What makes the difference is showing up when no one is watching. Doing the work when no applause comes. Your private habits determine your public success. The world sees results. Character is built in secret. The elder stood and walked to a safe behind one of the paintings. He opened it with practiced ease. Inside were not treasures or gold, but a stack of identical journals, decades of daily entries preserved. This is my true inheritance, not the factories or the railroads, but the habit that built them all. The young man realized something in that moment. His entire approach to life had been fundamentally flawed. He had searched for shortcuts, strategies, and secrets, when the only secret was showing up without fail. Napoleon Hill wrote that persistence is to character what carbon is to steel. It transforms ordinary into unbreakable. You will face days when everything in you screams to quit. Those are precisely the days that matter most. When you show up on the worst days, you prove to yourself that nothing can stop you. Belief follows action. Most people build self-doubt with every broken promise they make to themselves. You must reverse this pattern. Each time you keep your word to yourself, you deposit trust into your own account. Confidence grows from evidence. The elder walked to his window once more. The city lights stretched toward the horizon, his domain. I started with nothing but this habit. Every advantage you see was earned one day at a time. There were years when nothing seemed to work, when every investment failed, when partners betrayed me, but I never broke the chain. That consistency carried me through when skill and luck abandoned me. The young heir understood now why his father had sent him here. This was not punishment. It was salvation. Tomorrow morning you will write your first entry. The elder handed him the blank journal. Then every morning after. Not sometimes. Not when convenient. Every single day until the habit owns you more than you own it. There will be mornings you feel invincible. Write on those days. There will be mornings you feel defeated. Write especially on those days. The pen that touches paper when hope fails builds something indestructible. Napoleon Hill understood that definiteness of purpose requires consistent action. Vague dreams produce vague results. You must know exactly what you want. Then pursue it with daily action that cannot be negotiated away. The clock struck midnight. Hours had passed since the young man first entered this room uncertain. He left the study that night carrying more than a journal. He carried the blueprint for an entirely different life. The following morning came cold and gray. Every excuse existed to delay beginning his new practice. But he rose anyway, sat at his own small desk, and opened the blank journal with trembling hands. Day 1, he wrote. The words felt foreign. The habit felt forced. But the pen moved across the page. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. The journal filled with entries, each one slightly more confident. He returned to the mansion after 100 days. The elder examined the journal without comment. Then the old man smiled. It was the first time the young heir had seen such an expression. 100 days proves nothing, the elder said. But it proves you can do it. Now continue forever. The compound effect was beginning. Opportunities he would have missed before now became visible to him. His mind had sharpened through daily reflection. His decisions carried weight his former self could never summon. People began to remark on his transformation, but he knew the change was not sudden. It was accumulated. 1 year passed, then 5. The young man was no longer young, but his journal remained faithful. He had built his own enterprise now, not as large as his mentors, but built on the same unshakable foundation. The elder passed after 15 years. In his will, he left the young man all those journals from the safe, along with a final note. Your father was wrong about you. Consistency made you right. Pass this wisdom forward. And so now he sits in that same study. The mansion is his now. The chair by the fire awaits another. A knock comes at the door. A young man enters, sent by his father. Uncertain, undisciplined, full of potential. The older man gestures to the empty chair. He knows exactly what words need to be spoken first. Let me tell you about consistency. Let me show you the secret that changes everything. Because this is what Napoleon Hill discovered. This is what separates dreamers from builders of empires. Force yourself to be consistent. Push through the days you do not want to. Show up without negotiation. And eventually, something miraculous happens. Everything falls into place. Not through luck, through accumulated effort. The universe rewards those who persist. Doors open for those who knock every single day without ceasing. So ask yourself tonight, what will you do tomorrow morning? And the morning after? And every morning hence? Begin today, begin now, and never, ever stop. Because consistency is the only secret that has ever mattered.